Tom wakes up every morning with a big smile on his face. He feels happy and full of energy inside his heart. The tall trees outside his small window look greener than ever before. The cool morning air comes through the open window, and he takes a deep breath. He thinks about English and how much he wants to speak it every day. He stands up from his bed and says, "Good morning," in a loud and clear voice. His voice is stronger now than it was a few weeks ago. He laughs a little to himself and feels good about the new day. This is a fresh start, and he is ready to practice more words. He walks slowly to his little table and sits down to eat breakfast. He has a piece of bread and a glass of fresh milk. While he eats, he practices new words quietly to himself. Bread, milk, good, he says slowly and carefully. Each word feels better when he says it out loud in his small room. He remembers the advice Leo gave him before. Start with small words and try every single day. After he finishes his meal, he washes his plate. He puts on his old shoes and walks to the small shop in the village with confidence. The shopkeeper sees him coming and says, "Hi, Tom," with a warm and friendly smile. Tom takes a deep breath to calm himself and says, "Hi," back in a clear voice. The shopkeeper nods his head and smiles again. Tom buys his bread and feels proud of what he has done. He walks home with a happy heart beating inside him. The tall trees stand tall and still, and he says, "Tree," as he passes by them. His voice grows a bit louder with every step he takes. In the afternoon, Tom meets more friends in the quiet village. They are kind people who want to help him learn English. One friend, a young woman with a bright and cheerful smile, says, "Your English is getting good, Tom." Tom smiles back at her and tries to answer her. "Thank you," he says slowly and carefully, making sure each word is right. She claps her hands and says, "Great job, Tom. Keep it up." He feels brave and strong inside his heart. He walks to the river and stands by the clear water. He says, "Water," in a loud voice that echoes a little over the water. He likes the sound of his own voice bouncing back. He tries more words like fish and sky next. Each new word makes him feel better and more confident about speaking. The village stays quiet and peaceful around him, but Tom's voice is not quiet anymore like it used to be. Every evening, Tom sits with Leo near the tall trees outside the village. Leo is his best friend and a great teacher. Leo teaches him new sentences to practice every day with care. "I like the river," Leo says in a slow and clear voice so Tom can hear every word. Tom listens carefully and repeats, "I like the river." His voice shakes a little at first, but he does not give up or stop trying. Leo smiles and says, "Good job, Tom. You are doing very well today." They practice more sentences together under the trees. "The sky is blue," Leo says next in a calm voice. Tom tries hard and says, "The sky is blue." It feels a bit difficult for him, but he makes it work with effort. Leo claps his hands and says, "You are learning so fast, Tom. I'm proud of you." Tom feels happy inside and wants to try more words every single day without stopping. At night, Tom sits at his small wooden table with a notebook. He writes new words in it with a sharp pencil. He adds river, sky, and blue to his growing list of words he knows. He reads them out loud one by one with focus. River, sky, blue, he says. His voice gets clearer and stronger every time he practices at night. He thinks about how much he has improved since he started and smiles to himself in the quiet room. The stars shine brightly outside his small window, and he lies down on his bed to sleep. He closes his eyes and dreams of speaking to everyone around him. He imagines talking to the shopkeeper and his new friends without any fear or worry. This big and exciting dream makes him feel strong and ready for the next morning. The next morning, Tom wakes up early before the sun rises in the sky. He jumps out of bed with energy and goes to the window. He says, "Hello, trees," in a loud and clear voice that fills the room. He laughs and thinks, "I can do this every morning now." He eats his breakfast of bread and milk at the table. Then he plans what to do for the rest of the day. He decides to talk to more people in the village to practice. He puts on his old jacket and walks to the center where people meet and talk. A man with a hat says, "Nice day, Tom," in a friendly way. Tom takes a deep breath to stay calm and says, "Yes, nice day," back to him. The man smiles and says, "Good job, Tom." Tom feels warm and happy inside his heart. He tries again with another person nearby. "Thank you," he says when they help him carry a heavy bag. They nod and smile at him kindly with encouragement. Tom keeps practicing his English every single day without ever stopping or giving up. He stands by the river and says, "Water is pretty," in a strong and confident voice. The words feel good to say out loud by the water's edge. He adds more sentences with care. "Fish swim. Sky is big," he says, slowly but surely. Each new sentence makes him feel braver and more sure of himself than before. He meets Leo again by the tall trees and tells him, "I spoke to people today at the center." Leo hugs him tightly and says, "That's amazing, Tom. I am so proud of you and your hard work." They sit together by the river and practice more sentences. "I am happy," Leo says slowly and clearly. Tom repeats, "I am happy." His voice is steady now, and Leo cheers for him with a big and happy smile on his face. The weeks go by one, and Tom's voice grows stronger every time he tries to speak. He talks to the shopkeeper at the small shop every single day with confidence. "Hello, good day," he says with a smile. The shopkeeper always smiles back and says, "Very good, Tom. Keep trying every day." Tom buys his bread and walks home feeling happy and proud. He says, "Tree, river, sky," to himself as he walks along the path. The people in the village notice his progress and improvement too. They say, Tom, your English is much better now than before. He smiles and says thank you to them all. This makes him feel proud of what he has done so far in his learning journey. One afternoon, Tom stands in the middle of the village centre with courage. He sees a group of people talking and laughing together happily. He walks over to them and says, "Hi, everyone," in a clear and strong voice. They look at him and say, "Hi, Tom," back with big smiles on their faces. He feels a little nervous inside, but tries more words. "Nice day," he says to the whole group. They nod their heads and say, "Yes, nice day." Tom takes another deep breath and adds, "I like this place a lot, very much." The people clap their hands and say, "Good job, Tom, well done today." He laughs with them and feels like he is part of the group now. This is a very big and important moment for him, and he remembers it all night long in his mind. At night, Tom sits with his small notebook again at the table. He writes new sentences in it carefully with his pencil. I like the river. The sky is blue. I am happy, he writes down slowly. He reads them aloud many times with focus. His voice is clear and strong now after all his practice. He thinks about how far he has come since he first started learning with Leo. The stars shine brightly outside his window, and he dreams bigger dreams every night. He wants to speak to everyone in the village without any fear or worry at all. He closes his eyes and sees himself standing up to talk to a big crowd of people with full confidence in his heart. The next day, Tom wakes up with a lot of energy in his body and mind. He says, "Good morning," to the tall trees outside and laughs happily to himself. He eats his breakfast of bread and milk at the table. Then he walks to Leo's house with excitement in his steps. I spoke to many people yesterday at the centre, he tells Leo with a big smile. Leo claps his hands and says, "You are doing great, Tom. I knew you could do it with hard work." They sit together and practice more sentences by the trees. The fish swim fast, Leo says clearly and slowly. Tom repeats, "The fish swim fast." His voice is strong and steady, and Leo says, "Perfect! You are amazing, Tom." Tom feels proud and ready for more challenges ahead of him. Tom meets more friends in the village and practices with them every single day with joy. They say, "Your voice is good, Tom," when he speaks to them with care. He stands by the river and says, "Water is beautiful," in a loud and clear voice. He tries longer sentences too, with effort. The trees are tall. The sky is big. I am learning English every day, he says, slowly but surely. Each word and sentence makes him feel better and more confident about himself. The village stays quiet and peaceful around him, but Tom's confidence grows bigger every time he speaks out loud to others. One day, Tom decides to try something very big and important for himself. He stands in the village centre and says, "Hello, everyone. I like this place so much with all my heart." The people stop talking and listen to him carefully with attention. They smile and say, "Good job, Tom." Tom feels brave and adds more words with confidence. The trees are tall, the river is nice, the sky is blue, he says clearly for all to hear. The people clap their hands and cheer for him loudly. "Well done, Tom," they say with excitement. This is his biggest moment yet in his learning journey, and he feels happy inside his heart. At night, he writes it in his notebook at the table. "I spoke to everyone today," he reads aloud with a strong voice. His dream grows even bigger with every word he learns. The next morning, Tom wakes up early with a big smile on his face again. He says, "Good morning" to the tall trees outside and eats his breakfast of bread and milk. He walks to Leo's house and says, "I spoke to the whole village yesterday with confidence." Leo hugs him tightly and says, "That's wonderful, Tom. You are a star in this village." They sit together and practice more sentences by the river. "I am happy here," Leo says slowly and clearly. Tom repeats, "I am happy here." His voice is clear and strong, and Leo cheers for him again with a big smile on his face. Tom keeps growing stronger every day without ever stopping or giving up. He talks to the shopkeeper and says, "Hi, thank you, good day," with a smile. The shopkeeper smiles back and says, "Good work, Tom. You are getting better." He walks home and says, "Tree, river, sky," loudly as he goes along the path. He laughs and feels this is his new life now with speaking. He meets more people and says, "Nice to meet you," to a new friend with kindness. They smile and say, "Nice to meet you too." Tom feels brave and happy inside his heart. He stands by the river and says, "The water is clear, the fish are small." Each sentence feels easier now than it did before he started. The village people notice his progress and cheer for him every time he speaks. "Tom, you speak English so well now," they say with big smiles on their faces. He smiles back and says, "Thank you" to everyone around him with gratitude. He stands by the river and says, "The water flows, the fish swim, the sky is beautiful." His voice is loud and confident now after all his practice. The village stays quiet and peaceful, but Tom's speaking fills the air with sound and life. He learns step by step every day, and his dream of speaking to everyone grows bigger with each new word. One afternoon, Tom walks to the village centre again with courage. He sees many people and takes a deep breath before speaking out loud. "Hello, everyone. Nice day," he says in a strong and clear voice. They smile and say, "Hi, Tom. Yes, nice day." Tom adds more words slowly and carefully. "I like the trees and the river a lot," he says. The people clap their hands and say, "Good job, Tom." He feels strong and happy inside. He keeps talking with confidence. The sky is big. I am learning every day, he says clearly for all to hear. They cheer for him and he laughs with them under the warm sun. At night, Tom writes more in his notebook at the table. He adds, "Nice to meet you," and "The water is clear" to his long list of words. He reads them aloud many times with focus and care. His voice is steady and strong now after all his hard work. He thinks about his long journey from being silent to speaking and feels proud of himself. The stars shine brightly outside his window and he dreams of speaking to the whole village with ease. He wants to stand up and talk to everyone with full confidence in his heart. This dream grows bigger every night he sleeps peacefully in his bed. The next day, Tom wakes up with energy in his body and mind. He says good morning to the tall trees outside and eats his breakfast of bread and milk. He walks to Leo's house and says, "I spoke to more people yesterday with success." Leo smiles and says, "You are amazing, Tom. Keep going." They practice more sentences together by the trees. "The birds sing," Leo says, clearly and slowly. Tom repeats, "The birds sing." His voice is clear and strong, and Leo claps his hands with joy. Tom feels ready to keep going and learning more. He meets friends and says, "Thank you" and "Good day" to them with a smile. They smile back and help him practice more words every time. Tom's voice grows louder every single week with practice. He stands by the river and says, "The water is pretty. The fish swim fast," in a loud voice. He adds more sentences with care. "The trees are green. The sky is blue," he says slowly but surely. Each sentence makes him feel better and stronger inside. The village people say, "Tom, your English is great now." He smiles and says, "Thank you" to them all with gratitude. He keeps learning every day without stopping, and his dream of speaking to everyone grows bigger. One day, he will talk to everyone with full confidence and a happy heart full of joy.